They traded Joe Flacco to a division rival, and overnight, Shedeur Sanders went from a preseason afterthought to the guy who's one injury away from playing meaningful NFL snaps. This isn't a rumor or a slow drip. It happened fast, it surprised the coaching staff, and it rewired Cleveland's quarterback room in a way that will define this season for the Browns. ClevelandBrowns.com. Here's the blunt sequence. Cincinnati called, Cleveland answered, and Flacco was shipped to the Bengals for a modest day 3 swap. The move cleared roster space, forced clarity, and accelerated a timetable that was already messy. Coach Kevin Stefanski admitted the trade took us by surprise, which tells you how quickly the front office pulled the trigger once the phone rang. CBS Sports guy. That clarity is simple and brutal. Dillon Gabriel stays the starter this week, and the team officially elevated Shedeur Sanders to QB2 for game day. Bailey Zappi remained on the practice squad, which means the Browns chose youth as their immediate insurance rather than veteran stopgap experience. That's a meaningful organizational decision about development versus short-term cover. Dogs by nature, Tommy Rees, the man drawing the plays, didn't give you fluff. He said Sanders has shown constant improvement throughout the season, that the rookie is getting up to speed with weekly game plans, and that his preparation has been noticeable. That's not a cheering line from the PR team. That's your offensive coordinator telling the room the kid is earning reps in the building. X, formerly Twitter. Now, the practical reality for Sanders. Being QB2 is an opportunity and a trap at the same time. Opportunity because dressing on game day, riding the bench, and taking warm-up reps accelerates learning in ways practice doesn't. Trap because once you're active, you're one play or one injury from being visible on national tape. And if you're still learning the pace, a difficult debut can harden a narrative against you. The Browns must choose how to protect him. A narrow, low-variance package if he's activated, or let him continue to develop quietly while the team retains a veteran on the roster. Dogs by nature. The front office has been reshaping the roster in other ways, too. Cleveland moved cornerback Greg Newsome II to Jacksonville for Tyson Campbell, another sign that management is actively fixing roster holes rather than waiting for issues to become crises. That move flips the defensive script and signals the Browns' intent to change the roster's structure now, not in January. Brown Zone with Scott Petrak. Here's the complication everyone's skipping over. Mentorship and in-room seasoning matter. Flacco's value in 2023 wasn't just his game day throws. It was the veteran presence, the film room voice, the late-night reps with younger QBs. Once he's gone, that on-site mentorship disappears. Yes, you can text and Zoom, but the difference between being in the QB room at 8 a.m. and being a phone call is real when the season moves at warp speed. That cost is invisible on paper, but large in practice. SI coaching posture matters here too. Kevin Stefanski's public non-committal posture in the immediate hours after the trade signaled a staff still orienting to the new map. That's fine if it's followed by clear internal alignment. Who gets reps, who calls the plays, and how the staff protects both the team and the rookie's confidence. If the staff waffles, the media and the fan base will fill the vacuum with noise, and that noise eats rookie development for breakfast. CBS Sports. Futures to watch, and they're both short and sharp. Conservative path. Sanders stays QB2 but receives a protected 6 to 8 play package if he's active. Quick reads, play action rollouts designed for his mobility, scripted red zone looks. Gabriel keeps the keys. The Browns slow the narrative, protect the rookie, and hope the coaching will buy time for organic growth. Wildcard path. Staff elevates Zappa or leans into Sanders as a true backup who must be ready to run the full offense. If Gabriel falters and Sanders is thrust in on a Gabriel-built game plan, the rookie's tape could be messy and the controversy immediate. That accelerates either confidence or chaos, depending on how the plays land. Yahoo Tetao, what Cleveland should do. The surgical shortlist. Lock the QB script, narrow the reads for any backup activation, and explicitly preserve a mentorship channel for Sanders, daily film designated veteran reps, protected practice windows. If you want to both win now and develop tomorrow, you have to engineer certainty into weekly preparation. Vagueness kills both. X, formerly Twitter. Here's the cold business truth. The Browns didn't trade Flacco because he was the problem. They traded him because a market appeared and the front office saw a chance to convert a veteran contract into draft capital and developmental clarity. That's defensible. The hard test is whether the coaching staff now translates that clarity into coaching choices that actually move the team forward on Sundays. ClevelandBrowns.com, the human line. Shedeur Sanders was brought to Cleveland to be developed, not to be a narrative prop. He's shown growth, he's earned the next step. But development needs structure, protection, and patience. And those are organizational decisions, not inspiring headlines. If the Browns give him the runway and the play calls that fit his profile, the trade will look smart in time. If they hedge, or if they let the national noise rush personnel decisions, they'll turn a potential asset into another draft day regret. X, formerly Twitter. Bottom line, the Flacco trade forced a choice. The Browns could have kept a veteran bridge and sheltered their rookies. Instead, they sold the bridge and handed the rookie a close seat. That's a bet on developmental clarity. If the coaching staff commits to the right protections, it's a high upside play. If they don't, it becomes another midseason controversy where the kid pays the price for an organizational speed bump. The next 2 weeks will tell you whether this was a strategic pivot or a panic move. ClevelandBrowns.com. Joe Flacco is out, Dillon Gabriel is the starter, and Shedeur Sanders just moved from an afterthought to a real visible part of Cleveland's quarterback room. That's the short version, and Tommy Rees' public assessment gives the longer version some teeth. The staff is watching for constant improvement, and by his read, Sanders has been delivering it in practice. That matters more than hot takes or headlines. Here's what's actually changed. Sanders isn't just a name anymore. He's the active backup. That means live warm-ups on game day, sideline reps, targeted coaching attention, and the kind of week-to-week learning that turns raw tools into field-ready instincts. Rees' praise, measured, specific, focused on preparation, is exactly the language coaches use when they're tracking real development rather than selling a narrative. In a franchise that just traded a veteran safety valve for draft capital, those micro steps are the new currency. Why this is smart for Cleveland right now. Deshaun Watson is still a medical legal question mark, and the Browns are 1-4 with limited margin for error. Elevating Sanders gives them a controlled pathway to turn potential into usable snaps without throwing a rookie to the wolves. Practice reps are the fastest way to learn the cadence of an NFL game plan. Being active accelerates that. It's the middle ground between keeping a veteran crutch and gambling on an unproven kid with zero in-game preps. What to watch next? The real signals the staff is using to decide if Sanders is more than a backup label. Does